Join us, friends.
Great Scott, Spa Guy. Do they know what we have in store for them?
They will if they tighten up.
And don't double dribble. To the Grey Ghost, Spa Guy?
Exactly, old chum. No time to waste. To the Grey Ghost. We have not a minute to spare. It's showtime, friends.
All right. It is the Spa Guy, and once again, it is
Globetrotting with Trey.
And we are not wishing cotton was a monkey. Do you think it froze, Trey?
Yeah, I thought it froze.
I thought I'd get you on that
good.
one. We are not wishing cotton was a monkey, but we know that there's people all over creation that do wish cotton was a monkey, and I don't know why. And I would just say for you people that want to pretend things are different than they actually are, quit it. Just stop it. And, my mom told me one time that if it feels good, quit it. And if it tastes good, spit it out. And, that's a good way to keep your life straight. So, yeah. And anyway, so we're going to bring in the Conquistador and see what he's up to. I bet you he's up to no good. So let's see. Yep. Conquistador, what's up?
Hey, okay, Clark. I'll let him know. Okay, man. You take care. Tell your dad we said hey. Okay. Hey, guys, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Who was that?
Rob.
That was Clark Witt from San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Clark and his dad. Yeah.
Yeah. He wanted me to let you guys know that Rice-A-Roni is still the undisputed San Francisco treat.
Okay, that's good to know. I kind of like Rice-A-Roni. Now, I don't like it as good as Dirty Rice at Bojangles, but I still did like it.
Yeah, me too. They just wanted you guys to know that, because
good.
Yeah,
and the big game was hosted just outside of his town, in the adjoining town, and so he might have gone to it.
Was Clark the guy that ran the field?
I saw the guy that ran the field. I don't think it was Clark.
He filmed it on his Meta glasses, and I just watched it. I sent a link over. This dude filmed it on the Meta glasses, and it's unreal footage. So he'll make a lot of money on that footage, man. And he ran more yards than the Patriots did. I mean, this guy, hard. People were in the comments talking about that he had to sign a contract after that run. Some YouTuber did that.
Did you want? It was a YouTuber.
It was a YouTuber, an influencer in Miami.
And those guys, you got to watch those guys. They're up to no good. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and then some.
Yeah. And so, did y'all see the game?
Yeah, I did.
I watched the Puppy Bowl.
I watched it, and as far as a football game goes, it was meh. In fact, a record was set for the most field goals kicked in a Super Bowl. They 5. Up till now, it's always been 4. So basically, the whole thing was field goals for at least for the first half. I think they scored 1 touchdown in the first half, but the Patriots were never in it. They got it handed to them pretty good. But the defenses on both sides were really, really good.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It wasn't a great game. I could just say that.
And the North Carolina boy was the quarterback for the Patriots, and they were, they did all these behind the scenes things with him, and hyping that up, and he couldn't deliver. He was out of his league for this time, but now this is his second year, I think, in the NFL. So, when you're in the Super Bowl your second year, that's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot of pressure in it, Billy.
Yeah, it is. I was in it my 4th year, and it was a lot of pressure for me. Yeah. So,
you played it
he's got twice as much pressure, as I have.
Funny. Hey, the halftime show, was it just Bugs Bunny by himself, or was Porky Pig and Daffy and all them there too? Was it just Bugs Bunny?
I did not look at it. I went over to the thing that was put on by Turning Point.
Okay.
And I was a little disappointed on some levels because, Turning Point is supposed to be a Christian organization. There was a lot of typical country songs talking about drinking and all that, but then Kid Rock kind of came out at the end. It was almost like Kid Rock was showing that he had repented and changed his life. So he came out as Kid Rock. Did you see it, Trey?
I saw it. Yeah, I watched both of them.
So he came out as Kid Rock and did that first the Yabba Dabba Doo song is what I call it, but it's I'm American, and it's just jamming.
American Badass or something.
Yeah. Because you put American in front of it, they're going to let that one go, Trey.
Okay.
So
I saw Kid Rock. I saw Kid Rock sing that at WrestleMania in Houston, Texas, in 2000, and when Stone Cold went in Houston, Texas, Kid Rock sang it. And man, he put on a show that night there. And then I interviewed Kid Rock a few years ago at Talladega Super Speedway after his team won in the victory lane. I went up to him, man, and he had been smoking something that day. He was feeling pretty good at this point. And he was so happy. And I was like, hey, Kid Rock, man, what you think about Talladega? And he looked at me with my camera, man. He said, man, I don't not like anything about Talladega. I love Talladega. I have Kid Rock on film saying that.
Yeah,
you know?
I remember that. But his song is called Gabba Dabba Doo. But that's why I call it Yabba Dabba Doo. Because it's something like that. It's just nonsense words. But then he did that, and then it went to a man that looked like a pirate playing a cello and a lady playing the violin.
Then he was,
and I think it was a cello. It may have been smaller than a cello. And they played a Christian song, and then it went to he was introduced as Kid Rock there, and then the same people that introduced him after the cello and the violin player, they introduced him as Robert Ritchie, and then he came and played the song about Jesus. So it was kind of showing this is who I was, this is my alter ego, this is who I really am, and I'm a follower of Christ, and that kind of thing. So it was interesting.
Garth Brooks and Chris Gaines, sort of like that.
Yeah, without the Satan stuff, and so, and I met Chris Gaines. So y'all know, have I told this story here? I got to meet Chris Gaines. I got to meet Garth Brooks as Chris Gaines, get my picture made with him at a video shoot that I've never seen the video from. He was doing, I probably told this on here before, but he was doing that song, Come On You People Now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. He was doing that. I could take you to the spot where the video was being filmed at downtown Nashville. And what happened is that was before I moved to Nashville, so that would have probably been in 98 or 99. And my mom and I, she came with me, and somebody invited me basically to that shoot. So I was down there, and I thought, I better go find a camera. So I went around and bought one of those little Instamatic cameras that you could buy for $10, $15. And my mom took the picture. And so, I have a copy of that in the museum in one of my cases that I put some of my personal stuff in. And it's a wild story. And I can't find any other photographs of Chris Gaines with just people out standing around. And so that's a very odd photograph. And
I'd love to see it. I've never seen it, Billy. I'd love to see it. No.
Yeah. It's in the case there at the
TigerMan.
Oh, it's in the TigerMan. Yeah. And it was, at one time I was a Garth fan. I've never really been a huge Garth fan. I went to a concert one time, to when they put on the big concert. I guess it would have been at Titan State. No, probably at Bridgestone. I think it was at Bridgestone, but heck, I can't remember where it was. But I went to one concert, when it was full-blown Garth Brooks. And it was all right. His songs we did a few of them when I played in the band. And when I played out by myself, when I would go do these Saturday shows and that kind of stuff, I would do a lot of Garth Brooks because a lot of it is just acoustic things, or things you can easily do acoustic. But now I'm a meh at best, There's a lot of stories about Garth that he was a serial killer. There's, all those things are swirling around. I don't think any of that's true, but there's a lot of that swirling around now.
Yeah. He sounds a lot like Billy Stallings when he sings. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I should be getting a check for that, but I'm not.
He sounds like Yeah, Billy Stallings.
He does.
Not Billy Stallings though. It's so what's his name? It's
Can you come up with it?
I can't come out. It's guy. I see him right now on the screen.
Tulsa James.
Tulsa. It was Tulsa James. Yeah.
Tulsa James. That's about him.
Yeah.
It was Tulsa.
That's when you do a lot of stuff that when you go back and you look at it, I shouldn't say you. I've done a lot of things. When I go back and look at it, I go,
"What did I do?
Man, what in the world was I thinking?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've had a lot of those.
Didn't Elvis and Tulsa James meet up at an airport or something one time? Didn't something like that happen?
Well, that's how I came up with the name. Remember, I had a dream.
It was a dream.
And we were on the tarmac at the airport, and I was driving one of those luggage buggies. They pull the luggage around. And I saw a guy coming, pulling luggage. And he just kind of came right up to me and said, "Hey, Tulsa," and then just drove on by. And so then, he uses that name, Tulsa McLean. Is that GI Blues? Is it Tulsa McLean? And I didn't remember that, but just somehow in the middle of the night, I dreamed that one time and decided to.
That's cool. So you woke up that day
remembering that and adapted that name. And my dad didn't like it. He asked me, he said, why would you do that? What's wrong with our name? And I said, nothing wrong with our name, but I don't know. Our name doesn't sound like a showbiz name.
Yeah.
And so a lot of good it did me, but it is what it is. It's a chapter in a book that I look back at and I go, that was a strange dude right there doing a lot of crazy stuff, trying to, I can't even remember it. It's been so long ago, or I have very little memory of it. But I was a different dude then. I mean, I remember playing in those bands, and there was a lady, in fact, I think there was a lady, I don't remember her name. I don't even remember the name of the club, but there was a club in Havelock, North Carolina. And I used the Garth Brooks CM3. In fact, I've got it right here.
The old headset.
Yeah. This is my Garth Brooks headset right here. It's a CM311. That's my headset. And it wasn't wireless. You plugged a microphone cable into it. It had a battery in here for boost, but it had, and I've got the microphone covers right there, but this was my headset mic.
Wow.
That I used back then. I still have it. And of course,
I played a lot of concerts in it, Billy.
I played a bunch of concerts with this. I sure did. And but that lady did not like me using a headset. She wanted me to use a microphone. And I was just dead set against it. And, fighting, I guess, is just to be fighting in the way you do when you're young. Yeah. But I remember moving from a microphone on a stand to that. And you don't realize how big most mics look like they're about that wide, but that sucker's about that wide when it's not in front of you, between you and the audience.
Yeah.
It's one of those kinds of things where it took some getting used to, but it just became part of the stage show, if you will, and I played in a band with a bunch of really good guys. A lot of them are still playing in that particular band. They're not playing in a band together, but a lot of them are still out playing music. And even guys that I played with in other bands, most of them are still. You remember Ross that we had here on the podcast? Ross, I read the other day where he's joining a group and it's one of those things where you go through seasons where you go, man, I don't want to do that anymore. And then somebody goes, hey, man, we got a band. Oh, I'll do that. So I think Ross is back on the train again. He was off the train for a little while. And it's the life of a musician. You're on the train and off the train.
Really?
And
so you're off the train to go make money. You make some money, you're back on it.
Yeah. I mean, you're not, unless you get just really, really lucky, there's no real money to be made doing it. You've heard the story of a musician's a guy that takes $5,000 worth of equipment to play a $50 gig. And that's
right.
That's right. Accurate. And I still have most of my sound equipment. I say most of it. I don't think I've sold any of it that I know of.
So essentially get the band back together pretty quickly if you need to.
Theoretically, get the band back together. Now, my equipment is really, 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 really old.
It's okay.
But it has no value. And that's the thing is what I was planning on doing with it is the movie theater, the last movie theater, Southbrook 4, Greg and Alonzo, my deal with them is we're going to put the theater where Elvis watched the very last movie, The Spy Who Loved Me, August 12th, 1977.
I thought it was Star Wars. Go ahead.
Yeah, some would say. And we're playing people, so y'all don't run with that. We're absolutely playing.
You thought it was Rob. You thought it was Star Wars. I thought it was Whitehaven. So we're all just coagulated up in here.
Yeah. See, they said that we need to really push that what you said is not something that we're saying is factual, because that's not factual. Although it was playing at the Memphian at the time, and if Elvis wanted to see it, he could have very easily seen it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It played for 2 months.
There's an advertisement, right, Spy Guy? Is there an advertisement in the paper that says Star Wars?
Yeah, that was in July and August. It was playing at the Memphian in Memphis, 77. So anyway, heck, I can't remember what I was talking about now. We jumped to so many different
Alonzo,
things.
you're talking about your deal with those guys?
Okay. Yeah, the movie theater. So the movie theater, they were going to, when we did the event, we're coming up on the 50th.
Yep.
And so we're definitely planning on doing the event during the 50th. I don't think we'll be able to pull it off this year unless some miracle happens. But my deal with them was if they would buy a projector and they would buy a screen, the screen's missing, the frame is there. The screen dry rotted. If they buy a screen and a projector, I would provide sound and just leave it there. It would be permanent there. And so I have enough equipment that's still good equipment. It's just old and it's giant, where now everything is little. So I still have the stuff. So I've got to put them together a nice PA there that they can use along with the projector. And we priced some projectors and almost moved forward with it a couple of years ago. And then, things came up. So they've put it off. But they're also working on chairs in there as well. Yeah, so we've got a lead on some chairs that are Elvis related. So it looks good. It's really, they've done a great job.
We've been in there recently. It looks real good in there. Yeah. And Rob, wasn't that a fun night? That movie was cool.
Fun night. It was very cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
And so, what it took to pull it off last time was not good. This time, if we don't have to rent chairs, a PA, a screen, all we do is go in there and show movies, then it takes a lot of the pressure off and we can go in there and have a good time. So for the 50th, that's a definite plan that we're going to make that happen for the 50th. And so I don't know if we'll be able to pull it off for the 49th this year, but probably not. But we've got a lot of other cool things planned. Some things, we've got some things in the works that we'll be announcing in the next, probably in the next couple of weeks. The idea is to announce by March so people can go ahead and be buying tickets, and people are buying tickets for Elvis Week as far as museum entry and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so good.
That's already happening. And so it's a good time. And the one thing that will not be allowed, by the way, at the theater there will be no bananas. And and I'm talking about 0 bananas.
What is it with you, lady? You some kind of banana?
Yep. So we do not allow bananas at all into any of this stuff anymore. So
sunrise creeping, gotta get my fix now. Got that feeling deep down in my soul somehow. Every morning starts the same for me. I got a peel of yellow fruit, you see. Oh, I am the banana king, yeah, wobbling hips, a joyful thing, yeah, warm heart eyes, they hit my song. Banana king can do no wrong.
So you have to peel your fruit. Did you hear that? You have to wake up every day and peel your fruit because the Banana King can do no wrong. And I said, man, I like that song. I think that's pretty cool.
Banana.
And
Banana. Wow. Well, here lately, like in this Elvis type community, with this Baz Luhrmann movie coming back out here in a few weeks. Boy, I've been seeing a lot of comments.
Oh, hold on. They said that you could say Baz. Go ahead.
Baz. All right.
Yeah. It's so close, Trey. It's so close.
I've been seeing a lot of crazy comments.
I've seen stupid comments. That's what they are. They're just stupid.
It's not crazy. It's just
no,
stupid.
it's just stupid. Yeah.
I saw some person say like that Baz Luhrmann has done more for Elvis in the last 3 to 4 years than Colonel Parker did for Elvis in 20 years.
So there, case in point, perfect example. That's a stupid comment. Anybody that said that's a complete moron. They don't even qualify as a banana.
You can't even joke about that.
They're down in the what do you call those little things? Look like little tiny bananas.
Oh, plantains.
Yeah, they're down in the plantain family.
Oh, Rob, they weren't joking, Rob. They were serious.
That's crazy to say that. I mean, you can joke about lots of things, but you can't. I mean, you don't joke about Jesus. You don't joke about Santa Claus. You don't joke about Elvis.
No,
I mean, that kind of stuff.
Day I posted something the other day because I was on Reddit and I saw something, and man, on there, man, they talk so bad about Elvis.
They said that you could say Reddit. Go ahead.
Like, people that
it didn't sound right when you said it right to start with.
People that are not fans of Elvis nor care about anything of of his story or whatever, like to see what younger people think of Elvis today, it's
embarrassing and pitiful.
It's embarrassing, man.
Yeah.
And so I don't know where I'm going with it.
Well, I'll tell you where I'm going. I broke my favorite glasses, the ones that I usually wear, and they're Foster Grants, by the way. So I got some new ones. Oh, hey, did you say Foster Grant?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a commercial back then?
Yeah.
Something like that. And so these are trifocal. They have like a one for reading, looking at my phone, one for looking at a computer, and then one for looking at a TV. And it has that blue stuff in it. It's supposed to protect your eyes and all that. So this is my brand new pair. I got up the other day, and I don't know really what happened. It just snapped. One of the ears just snapped off.
Yeah.
But these are you could tell that they're, can you see that? Does it say Foster Grant?
I can't. It's like 3 words. 3 long.
When I take my glasses off, I can't read it. Could you read it, Trey?
Yeah, it says Foster Grant.
Okay. And these are really heavy and really nice. And I'm going to buy more. I'm in the habit now, and I think Rob is probably there with me. When I say, man, I need something, I don't buy one. Yeah. I'll buy 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, and just to try different kinds and different colors and stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I end up with a lot of stuff I never use. It just I'll open a drawer and there's a package of reading glasses that I've never even opened. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when I find something I like, I go nuts and I get a lot of that. Yeah. So I just got these reading glasses, and that's off air. Remind me of something that I got with my reading, or just before my reading glasses, Rob, that we need to talk about.
Okay. The leg breaking on your glasses, that comes from doing that whole Superman thing where you whip the glasses off all the time. If you start doing that a lot.
Yeah. That's a daily thing. I mean, we all know that, and
the SG. Come on, man.
Well, I used to have that, and then I got a cease and desist from DC Comics. I couldn't believe it when I got that. I was like,
What?
Why? You know that, don't you, Rob?
Yeah, I've not seen the letter. Did you have that frame? It'd be cool to have that frame. Do you have that frame somewhere, the letter from them?
I don't know. It may have been an email.
Okay.
And not a real letter. But,
DC Comics, of all people.
DC Comics, their attorney. I mean, I reached out. It's a really nice lady. Because I reached out to her and said, why? I mean, why do y'all care?
They thought the Spy Guy was going to be more popular than Superman.
Yeah, I was on my way at one point.
You were on your way at one point. There was no doubt about it.
Yeah. And they didn't call me Clark Witt, but they
imagine that. They did imagine somebody doesn't send you a cease and desist unless they're scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Like this guy is going to threaten. This guy is going to take over my brand or something.
Yeah, they thought that was taking DC Comics down.
That's what I was saying. You know, Billy was like taking over Superman.
That's like being at your house, having a cookout and making cheeseburgers for your family. All of a sudden, Ronald McDonald shows up in a limo and says, "Hey, enough with the hamburgers already. All right, like, dude, I'm just making some stuff for my family here, man." You know, that's weird to me.
It was weird to me, and it scared me. I'll be honest, but when I talked to the lady, she was not unreasonable at all. And you know, I explained to her what I did and what I was doing, and she was like, "Yeah, but it's so close. We just don't want you because people will think that we're sponsoring your T-shirts and that kind of stuff." And I said, "You know, I get that." And you know, they were asking some real crazy stuff, and she was nice enough to kind of back off of that. What I'm saying, she was saying, any video that you have that has that in it, we want it down. And I was like, man, I don't think you understand. There's a lot of them. And so when she started really looking around and looking and understanding what it was and what I was doing, they didn't give in, but they made some concessions and you know, basically settled. You know, we worked it out. Yeah.
Was her name Lois by chance?
I don't know. Her last name was Lane.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And but she was very, very nice. They're very nice people, very professional. And I didn't get mad. I just was concerned because I was like, you know, I didn't think this was ever going to happen. You know, I didn't think it was that big of a deal because who am I? You know.
Yeah.
And
but you did have a respect. It was respectful to Superman. You wasn't doing anything.
It's a shout out. Yeah. And you know, another thing, I played pickleball today. I haven't played in a while because I hurt my back. You know, pulled my back just a tinge. And so I took a few weeks off. Last week I played. This week I played. Today was my first day with shorts. And I got one of the Porsches out today with the top down and drove it home because it was nice out. It was almost 70 today.
Yeah, was here too.
So, yeah, very, very, very nice weather. And so I'm wearing shorts right now. And I did play pickleball this morning. I didn't play well today. Last week I played pretty well. I played okay today. I won maybe 1 or 2, but my goal is to win 3 out of 5 at least. And I'm not sure that I did that. I may have won 1 or maybe 2 today. I don't remember exactly, but I just didn't feel great today. You know, some days you feel better than other days.
Yeah, but you look fantastic though.
Well, I don't feel. I appreciate it. You're just saying that because you know it's true. Well, and so I'm just kidding. No, I need to lose some weight. You know, I was down at almost 200, about 203 was where I was hovering. Yeah. The winter came, man, and I jumped up 10 pounds just like that. I mean, almost in a day or two, you know. You
look like a ninja when I saw you in August. You were wearing those Under Armour shirts, those fitted shirts every day. I was thinking, man, Billy's looking like a freaking ninja over there.
Oh, Billy getting jacked.
Yeah, come on,
jacked.
And so I'm hoping to by the end of the winter, I need to lose. I'd like to get under 200, and to help my back, if nothing else, you know, because what's happening is when I'm playing pickleball, as long as I play normal, I don't really have any problems. Because the other thing is normally in a regular day, I'm wearing shorts and I'll wear a belt. But see, when I'm playing pickleball, I'm wearing exercise outfits, so I'm not putting a belt on. And boy, if you run for something and get it just right, I mean, it's a muscle pull, and I'm down for a week, you know, or 10 days, you know. And when I say down, I still get up and go, but I'm in pain for a week, and I don't want to be in pain anymore. So what I've been doing, like today, I wore a belt under my shirt over my shorts, you know, and I bought a belt. I think it was I guess it was during January. I think during Elvis week at the dojo, I didn't pack my belt. My wife didn't pack my belt, whoever. So I went to Walmart and bought one of those belts that's double holes all the way around the whole belt. Okay. So if I'm fat, I can let it out. If I'm skinny, I can let it in. And,
I know about that all too well, man. I do.
And so it's one of those things where, you keep adjusting up and down. And I'm working on, y'all got any projects going on right now? I've got a project I'm working on. You got anything happening, Ron?
I got to finish the laundry room. I still have to paint the walls and the baseboards and all that stuff. And then I got to move into the kitchen. And
what were you doing in the laundry room? Just a overhaul?
Just overhaul, new cabinet, hardware, painting the walls. Some of the textured roof had fallen off because the house is so old, so I had to go in and retexturize everything, do all that. So
now Lori wants me and her to do that project, our laundry room. She wants me to add some cabinets in there, and the ladies now on the wall behind the washer and dryer, they do wallpaper. So she wants me to do wallpaper, put cabinets up, do that bar that goes across, and then change our washer and dryer. When we bought this house, we did front loaders with the drawers on the bottom. And the front loader, they still work. I've had to repair them several times, but heck, we've been here. Those things are almost 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so we've been here, over 20 years. And so they're getting right at 20 years old and they're still rocking, but I've had to repair that dryer multiple times. And I've even got videos on YouTube where I repaired the dryer, where I replaced different parts.
And Spy Guy can fix anything, man.
Yeah, Billy, I mean, I learned how to repair stuff. Rob
that's
can
one
too.
thing that I was amazed about Billy. Like, Billy, you can do anything by yourself, pretty much. Like,
you just get in there and figure it out. Yeah.
I mean, you built a dojo. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like,
some people are just handy. I don't know how I know how to do stuff. I just do. I know Rob's like that. He knows how to do stuff.
Some stuff I'm really good at, like car stuff, but like the carpentry things, like you're talking about building cabinets and all that. That's not my thing.
Yeah. I just grew up doing stuff, building things, and I enjoy that. I enjoy thinking of something and then carrying it out, and but you got a project you're working on, Trey? You got anything big?
I was just editing a movie.
Is that all? Yeah. So you just had a full feature film that you edited come out on Amazon and
Apple TV.
Apple TV. Okay.
Yeah.
And
is it Apple?
Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, it's out now on Apple TV.
Yeah, what's it called?
What's it called? I want to check it out.
Pawpaw and Deja.
And it's a family-friendly movie, right?
It's a family-friendly movie about a grandfather and a granddaughter, and they go camping in the woods. And the little granddaughter is she's created all this, and she's really into Bigfoot because of a television show, and Bigfoot is in the woods. And does exist in the film,
That's good.
But I edited that film, and
check that out.
Hopefully it does good, because if it does, ka-ching, get money.
Kaboom, yeah.
I make percentage of all the sales.
Yeah, and you've told me, I know the percentage. You make a good percentage of it, so it's Trey's out there getting after it.
We've got that one just hit, and now I'm working on another one that will be later on this year.
That was not family friendly, right?
No, the next one's not family friendly.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have 3 projects out there, so
that's
hopefully
good.
Hopefully something takes off.
Yeah, and you still got a lot of that stuff coming up, so that's good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome, Trey. Put yourself out there, man. That's great. I hope something great does happen.
Man. Hey, this the last few weeks, like, I've auditioned a lot, so hopefully one of these auditions will hit, because there'll be some good stuff. Today I had to film an audition that was pretty funny. That went for a commercial. I told Spy Guy about it.
Yeah, he had to sing.
Lip sing.
Wow.
I didn't have to sing, but I had to lip sing, luckily.
Did you go in person to do this, or you did it online?
No, you do this self tapes.
Oh, okay.
See, that's something new, Rob, that when I was acting, I had to go in person and I was always terrified. Now you just film yourself doing it and send it in.
But it's it's something in itself that you have to learn how to do, because you have to learn how to set up, how to set the lights up, how to film, how to edit. People can't do all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a skill that actors have to learn to do, and I love it because I've gone in a room before too, and standing there in front of a bunch of strangers and having to bring it to these people,
Yeah.
So it's more comfortable where you can kind of not have that pressure on you to flub your lines and go blank or whatever that you could do in a room easily. But it's kind of the new way now, definitely since COVID. I guess since COVID, casting directors have realized that it helps them too, because they don't have to be around people, and they can just probably sit on a beach somewhere and review all the tapes all day long.
Yeah.
But and you got to know how to be different in these things, because you got to stand out, because every actor pretty much is is getting the script, and they're just doing exactly that, everything that's written over and over again. And then there's going to be that one actor that just throws that script away and just does his own thing. And those are usually the people that book stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
you got to call you, start calling you Trey Lerman.
Yeah.
Trey Lerman. Director extraordinary.
There's 5 words right there.
No. I mean, come on, man. Look. That guy did more for Elvis in the last 2 weeks than Colonel Tom did in 50 years. So
yeah, that's true. That is true.
Look, man, Spy Guy can go all the way back to the day when I realized that Boz was doing an Elvis movie, and I think I told him exactly what it was going to be, and I was pretty spot on. Because I'm a filmmaker, I know this kind of stuff, because Baz Luhrmann did Romeo and Juliet with DiCaprio. He did The Great Gatsby with DiCaprio, and I like those movies, but man, they're different movies, and I was like, oh man, he's gonna do this with Elvis, and exactly that's what he did.
Those are fantasy fiction movies, is what they are, and Elvis is a fantasy fiction movie as well.
Yeah, you can't have a fantasy fiction Elvis's story. That needed to be told right.
Yeah, because the real story is sensational enough.
That's right. It doesn't need any help.
No.
So something I'm working on is a couple of years ago, I bought, we sell hot tub parts online. I have them on platforms, on certain platform.
Right.
And I have several of them on that platform. And I bought a company that had a couple on a really old platform called Volusion. And so a couple of years ago, I had moved. I think I've had those now. I think April will be 3 years, I think. So I've had those employees that I inherited with that company. I've still never met them in person. I talk to them on the phone and interact, and they handle things for me, but I've never seen them in person ever. And but one of the websites I changed probably 2 years ago over to the platform that I'm used to using, which is takes time. It takes time to move everything over. And you almost start over with your SEO and all that kind of stuff, because when you change it to the new platform, Google has to go back in and start over again with it. And so you lose some momentum with the website. But this one had lost enough momentum that I just made a decision while it's winter. I'm going to do they call it a migration. And so last time I paid a company to do the migration. In fact, I paid several different people. Nobody could pull it off. And I finally found a company that did it, and they did it in like a week and did a great job with it for the other website. So this time I decided I was going to figure out how to do it myself. And I was able to pull it off. The website's active now. I activated it this weekend. It's still not perfect in the background. I'm still working on it. But some of the things that I'm doing is the reason that particular website died was because the guy that I bought it from, he built those websites for his customers. So he manufactured hot tubs. So this website, the other website was for outside customers too. This one was more specific for just his customers. So they buy hot tubs from you, and then they buy their filters and their parts in the future from you on this website. Well, now that company, that website's been up since 2014, 2015. And so that company, a lot of those hot tubs have aged out. You know, they get 10, 15 years old. And by that time, they've sold them. They're not using them. They're dead, whatever happened, you know. And some hot tubs last longer than others. But what ended up happening is this particular website was not designed to draw in outside customers. It was designed to work on that bucket of customers that he sold hot tubs to. And so that bucket of customers gets smaller and smaller and smaller all the time. So what I did was, and what I mean by that is in the background, he did no SEO at all. So whenever I built the first website, I went SEO crazy. Every single part, I mean, I went nuts with keywords and SEO and background and all that kind of stuff. And because I wanted to be sure that I got exposure, and that website's doing very well, but now that website's been up for 10 years, 8 to 10 years. I don't know how old it is. We've got 45,000 orders on that website. And so there's, a lot of orders over a period of time. So what I'm doing with this website is what I did with that one. And I'm going in and doing things like you wouldn't even think about doing this. And when I researched what I needed to do to make the website successful, to make it stand out today, because, normal website SEO, and people may or may not even know what I'm talking about. But when you build a website, your domain on that website has like meta tags, SEO type stuff. And used to, Google looked at that. They're saying now they even told me just leave it blank. Don't put anything there because it doesn't matter. And they said that what Google looks at now is content inside of the website. So they're looking for things like if you do a blog. So what I started doing was blog posts, because when it crawls, there's something new and it's educational. Google loves that. So they'll send people because of that.
What about like if you update it with videos?
Well, videos, videos are the driving force of my whole thing. But the problem is these particular websites that I'm talking about, there's 2 of them that are on this side. They're not Spa Guide, they're Hot Tub Professor. So I have Hot Tub Professor videos as well. I just don't have as many of them as I do Spa Guide. So now when I'm filming a segment where I'm doing a repair, I film it as the Spa Guy and as the Hot Tub Professor. And then I edit out 2 different videos. So one of them goes to the Hot Tub Professor YouTube page, and all of that stuff goes on those 2 sites and points to those sites. And then the other video goes on the Spa Guy page, Spa Guy how-to page, and all that points to those other 2 websites. Cool. So it's just a matter. Something that I've started doing is real short videos, 1 minute, 2 minute videos. And I'm not even really doing an intro. And so it's one of those things where you don't even see me, you see my hands. So I bought this apparatus that's a light that's like this, it's on an arm. And I could take my cell phone and put it in there, hit record, and then take the parts and say, with a measuring tape, and say, this part fits this. This is what it measures. This is how yada, 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 yada. 1 minute, 2 minutes. I can hit record. I can take and airdrop it to my computer, edit it real quick, stick it on Amazon, stick it on eBay, cut it to go on those YouTube sites. And so I'm doing real quick little videos, and we all, the short format is working now. And so I'm starting to really try to go nuts on short format stuff. And I even went in, which I'd never thought about before. It said, nobody's doing this. So if you do this, it's going to make your website stand out to Google. And that is, how when you go to a parts website, it'll have a category thing. So let's say you're looking at auto parts. It'll be brakes, and then it'll break down to shoes, pads, wheel cylinders, yada, yada. So what I'm doing is I'm going into each category and adding SEO to each category individually. And I've worked Friday night. I worked all day Saturday. I worked all day Sunday. And I only got about half of the tree done, the category tree, in that particular website, just the categories. So it's a process. It's a long, drawn-out process. I worked on it some today. But if I stay after it for the next week or two, after a while, that'll be done. And then I can move on to SEO for other parts of the website. You know, I did not realize that the meta description is it very, 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 very important. So what I've started doing is letting chat. I'll take a part and say, okay, in this part, I need a meta description. I need a meta keyword. I need this. I need that. And so it'll spit them all out, and I just copy and paste them. Okay. You know, so that's how I'm doing it. I'm not handwriting all that, because if you did, man, it would take 3 months, you know. Yeah. And I'm just saying, this is my category, and it'll create the words for it, and it'll create all the different things, and you just copy and paste. So it's just a matter of going through the pains of all of it. And it is a big pain, but I think it'll be worth it. That website was dying on the vine. So if I didn't do something, it was going to crash anyway. You know, it was going to become of no value. So now's the time to do it. Last year, that website only did 35,000 in sales, which is very, very, very low. Back in 2015, that thing did 2 million. You know, so I've got to turn it around and send it back the other way. And it didn't do 2 million for me. It did 2 million for him, because those were built-in customers for him, you know, because he built tubs for them. They bought from him. So they bought all their stuff. But our first, I had an order last night or yesterday, and it was $800. So the very first order on the website was $800. So that's pretty good.
Hey, you could do 100,000 more of those in the next few weeks.
Yeah. And, you know, eventually that thing I'll have 40,000 orders. You know, it's just a matter of getting it set up. But I've got a cover website that once I get these done, that website's been up a long time, and we sell on it. We probably do 100,000 on that site, which sounds like a lot. And there's a lot of people would love to do 100,000, but I think it could probably do 500,000 or 600,000 probably. But there's very little SEO in it. I just build it for covers and really didn't spend any time on the SEO on that site, and it's showing, you know. Right. So I've got to go back, and that site's probably been up 10 years. And so it's just things that you got to, because the other thing they're doing is like YouTube, they're changing everything. You know, how Google views your site and all that kind of stuff behind the scenes, all of it's changing. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know Ben Keller's listening right now going, what the heck does SEO stand for? So could you, just for Ben Keller's sake, can you tell us what that stands for?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. Let me look it up.
Ben's a pretty big guy. You need to probably figure it out.
Ben's a giant guy, yeah. So we're going to figure it out for Ben.
It means it's something with search and
search engine. I think search engine optimization would be my first.
Oh, okay.
Search engine optimization. That's right.
All right, that's cool. I learned something today. I mean, Ben learned something today.
Yeah, but behind the scenes, what you see on a website is a very, very small part of what's there. You know, so it tells us to go in, and I have a group that is telling me how to do this. I have a service that I paid for, and what they do is go in and look at your stuff, and it wants very specific elements on the front page. It wants things like the name of your company, what it's about, things that you don't even, I mean, of course you're going to have the name of your company on there, but it also wants you to do quick links. It wants you to do popular links. So what I did was went in and created some HTML language and put buttons that go to a specific area. And so it wants very specific things on the front page. And once you get those things, Google basically says Google was going to like what it sees here, and it's going to refer people. Because what it has to do with is when people are searching stuff, how does Google match you to
what they're searching
a website, your website to what they're asking for?
Right.
You know, and what we found is most people that are building these sites are not doing any SEO backup stuff at all. They're doing the one thing, and the rest of it they're leaving blank. What I did when I built Hot Tub Parks of America, I didn't leave anything blank. I went nuts, and it was all handwritten. There was no Chat GTP to do the work. Back then, it was all me typing it out. And that thing's got 8,000 parts in it. So I typed out the SEO and the descriptions and the keywords for 8,000 parts and took pictures of 8,000 parts.
Good gosh. How long did that take?
It took a long time. And plus, it took me a while to learn how to do it. And what I mean is I probably took 2,000 or 3,000 of those items, pictures, 3 times. Because at one time I was doing it like on just any old background. Then I started doing it on what I considered to be a white background because Amazon was requiring a white background. Then I realized everybody's taking them on like a green screen, and you have a site like Clipping Magic. All I do now is pull them into Clipping Magic. It recognizes the background and cuts it out almost instantly. I have to do a little touch up. So I can cut out pictures for a part, 15 pictures in. I could take the pictures. I don't even use, a lot of times it depends on the color of the part. But what I'm doing now is right in front of my computer, I'll just lay the part on the desk in front of it, take my cell phone out, take the pictures, tape measure, pop it into Clipping Magic. But first I put it into a file, uncut. Then, so I create a new file. I have a parts picture file. That's all my parts pictures. So if I want to use them again, they're there. And if I want to build a new set of websites and change the watermark on it and all that kind of stuff, I can do those kinds of things too. And some say that they don't like watermarks. Google doesn't like that you watermark your pictures, but see, I want to watermark my pictures because I don't want people taking my pictures. If they want to build a website, they need to build their own pictures, make their own. Yeah. And so I use those and cut them out. But Clipping Magic, I could go from a part, like I took a picture of a filter today, probably from taking pictures of it, getting it, taking pictures of it, cutting them out, uploading them, watermarking them for all the sites, and getting them on all the sites, probably 20 minutes. And so it sped it up. Plus they look like $1 million, when you do it. Yeah. Because when you cut the background out, most websites, the background is white. And I'll show you, this is the newest website. Let me pull it up. And the other thing is you got to make sure the website works on your phone. And Trey pointed something out to me on another website.
Yeah, you got to also make sure it's optimized for the phone to work right.
Yeah, and I did not realize there was different settings for the phone.
Yeah.
And Trey was the one that pointed that out. And I was like, daggone Trey, I'm glad you told me that because, and so I went back on all my sites. I just assumed that the system adjusted it for your phone, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
And
did you check it after I said that with stuff off, like?
Oh yeah, it was way off. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is my newest site.
Let me see the Clint Eastwood mug, Rob.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is the newest site. This is called Spa Shopper, and this is not what it looks like on the computer, but this is what it looks like on the phone. But those are examples of things that I made the kits and took pictures of them and put them on there and cut the background out and all that kind of stuff. Nice. And you can see the little spa guys on there.
Looks like I'm looking at Amazon's website. It's so professional looking.
Yeah, well.
Hey, Billy, I'm telling you, Billy's.
I don't even own a hot tub, and I want to buy parts now.
You want to buy parts? Well, that's good.
It's crazy. Trey, what did you saying, Trey? I stepped on you, Trey. What were you saying?
Billy has built this stuff from the ground up, using eBay, YouTube, the websites, and all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it all started with eBay back in the day. And I've got that going. And then I had an employee that went, man, you need to try Amazon. I was like, Amazon, that's not a hot tub part place. And that was when Amazon was starting to get a little hot. This has been it'd been 12, 14 years ago, I would assume.
Yeah.
And so I kept thinking about it. He kept urging me, and I finally went, okay, let me see if I can figure out how to get hot tub parts on Amazon. And it was a process. You know, it's not, they don't just let people put parts on, you know, stuff on Amazon. You have to really go through a process. And so I did that. And eBay at one time was the king, and then Amazon became the king. And then I thought, I want to build my own website. So that's when I built Hot Tub Parts for America. And so Hot Tub Parts for America has become the king. It's top. Amazon's second. Probably Spot Parts Net is third. Global would be fourth. Hot Tub Parts for America Global, which is Hot Tub Parts for America to ship outside the United States. It's for foreigners. And so I built one website strictly to ship outside the U.S. for Hot Tub Parts. And then I have Spa Shopper, and then I have Factory Spa Covers. So Spa Shopper and Factory Spa Covers Factory Spa Covers is probably fourth. And as far as
how do you keep up with all that? God, that's a lot to keep up with.
You just do. And but I love building I love building stuff, you know, making things and figuring out how they work, and also creating something that becomes successful. And Hot Tub Parts of America does enough money now that if I could get the other 5 sites, I forgot to mention Spa Guy Parts. That's another new one that I'm working on. And what they had done was, the company that is the platform that I use, they do this thing where they'll allow you to have the same back end but create another front end. So what you see on a web page, you could basically create another web page with a different domain name and a different look, but it's the same parts. And I thought that was a good idea until recently I started looking at how they were billing me. I can build a whole website standalone for $399 for the whole year.
Okay.
Now it'll cost you more than that when it starts becoming successful, because it's tier based. So as you start selling, when you start getting up in the higher numbers, $500,000 plus, 600,000, 650, you go to what they call that's the highest tier. There's a word for it. I can't think of what it's called, but at 650,000, you jump over into that tier, and it starts getting very expensive. But by that time, you're selling so much it doesn't matter. But to do the second storefront, it's $2,400 a year. So I can do $2,400 a year and have a standalone website, which in 10 years, if I decide to retire and sell it, is more valuable than if you have 2 storefronts on the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a matter of creating all these different entities that have value is the point of all this. You know, if they're all selling, if they were all doing $500,000 a year, then you're jumping up into 3.5, 4 million a year in sales, which is pretty good. Yeah.
You'd have a lot of foster grants. You'd have a pair of foster grants in every room of the house.
I could have a pair right now if I wanted, in every room in the house, just like Dolly. So have y'all been watching the y'all remember that I said when I worked at Dolly's on her hot tubs, she had reading glasses folded up at every place that you could sit in the house. There was a pair of real fancy Dolly reading glasses. Now, whether they were foster grants or not, probably not, because she doesn't have Spy Guy money. Everybody knows that. I mean, it's just Dolly.
Yeah. And it's hard to be humble, is what Mac Davis said, right? It's hard to be humble.
And so have y'all watched any of the Olympics?
I've watched a little bit of it.
Have not.
I like watching the Winter Olympics. I enjoy the Winter Olympics. I hear people go, I don't like winter. I like summer. I like winter. I like the snowboarding and the ice skating and all that, you know.
Yeah, I was watching those girls jump those inclines.
Yeah.
Man.
It's amazing some of the stuff. You know, that is a good point.
What?
Right. You got to stop that. You got to stop saying that kind of stuff, Trey, because it could be construed as something else.
Yeah, because I was construing it.
So if Rob was construing it, it can definitely be construed.
Yeah.
And we don't want things to be misconstrued or even construed.
Right.
And so there was a guy, his name is the Quad God. This kid, he's got real big hair, you know, fluffy hair. He's trying to be sharp, you know, like Trey, and with the big hair. Yeah. And this kid is the only ice skater that can do quads. And so 4 spins in the air and land and do 4 spins again in the air, that kind of stuff. This dude went in the competition, and ice skating seems a little sissy, but at the same time, you look at what these guys can do, it's unbelievable. This guy, they call him the Quad God. His real name, I don't know, but I can remember Quad God. He's an American. You know, was for the American team. He got in there, guys, and he was doing quads like nobody else literally in the competition can even do it. So he was doing quad and then another one, and then he would do a quad and then a triple, and he would do back flips. He would do front flips on ice skates.
Good Lord.
Yeah, nobody else is doing that stuff. And he scored over 200 and won hands down, no problem. Gold medal, right to start with. I mean, he was literally, and they said he literally is the guy that can do quads that nobody else in the world can do.
And he did it.
Yeah. So he's the Elvis of ice skating.
He's Elvis on ice skates. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you get a chance, look him up. When he's doing those backflips and stuff, that trips me out. You know, and it was really, really cool.
The thing I like about Winter Olympics over Summer Olympics is the crashes are more dramatic. I mean, like blood on snow and ice is very visible. Versus
you remember the defeat, the agony of defeat and all that? That was snow skiing. That was the rap. That dude wiped out. He did.
Yeah, he did. You know, because of him, I've never snow skied before. Because of him. Really? Him and Sonny Bono. Sonny Bono crashing into the tree. I got you, babe. No, you didn't have it. But anyway, yeah. So between him and Sonny Bono, I don't snow ski.
You know, Dean Nicopolis broke his leg skiing up there with Elvis and them, and Elvis rode to the hospital with Dean and wore a ski mask so that they didn't know who he was. And a girl looked at Elvis in the room and was like, "And who are you?" And Elvis looked at this nurse and said, "The Lone Ranger to you." Because like Dean had gave him his Elvis Presley Enterprise card working for Elvis for his, for the medical stuff. And she looked at it like it was fake. And Elvis was sitting right there. And that's when Elvis said, "I'm the Lone Ranger to you."
That's funny.
That's one of Dean's favorite stories. We said Elvis was putting his hands on Dean's leg, and he's like, no, boss, no. Because Elvis thought he could put his hands on somebody and still. Huh?
Have you ever skied? Snow skied?
No, I have never snow skied.
I have snow skied, and it was a lot of fun. And I had a good experience and a bad experience. Have I told you about this?
No.
Okay, in Gatlinburg, there's a place called Ober-Gatlinburg, Ober. They have these giant, when you're down in Gatlinburg, it's on the far side of Gatlinburg as you're going out into the Cherokee National Forest. It's on the other end. And they have this place where you go and you buy tickets, and you can get there 2 ways. You can get on this gondola like you would see in Switzerland. And when I say this thing's giant, it's giant. And the ride is terrifying because y'all know I'm afraid of heights.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're on this car, I bet you it'll hold 80 people.
Good
and,
God.
You've been on a sky tram before, where there's 4 people sitting. And this thing is, when I say it's giant, it's big as a bus. And it's on this wire. And there's areas out there where you're 800, 900, 1,000 feet up. And it's swinging. When it hits the next thing, it does this. Every time it goes over the next tower, it'll do that just a little. And I was in it one time where it was windy enough that it was getting big air. It would start doing that. And but you can also buy a ticket and they'll take you up in a bus, but it's a winding road to get up there. Or you can just drive up there and park. And they have ice skiing or ice skating inside. And you can go in there. It looks like a Swiss chalet, and you can get hot chocolate and snacks and ice skate.
Right there.
That's you. And you can eat in there. And they have places that you can go toboggan. So you can actually rent a toboggan to sit on. I guess that's the word, or like a raft. And you can go up and ride down the mountain. And they also have the mountain coasters like they have in Gatlinburg now that have nothing to do with ice and snow. but you can also snow ski. So I think it was Lori and I, and we were staying in Gatlinburg, which there's a cabin, there's a cabin in Gatlinburg that we get to stay in because of family. And I'm pretty sure it was Caroline and Adam. This would have been before the grandbabies were born, and Lori, and I think it was just us four from my memory. Anyway, I go and I decide, you know what, I'm going to learn to ski. So I go, and they give you these intermediate, this beginner classes and stuff. The hardest part is stopping, being able to get those skis and cross them and stop. And so that first time I went, it had just snowed and it was real powdery and real soft. And I took those little classes and I got on the thing and went up and took the bunny hill back down and really had a good time, and was still scared because when you fall at 55 years old or 50 years old, it ain't like falling at 20 years old, Right. And I was trying not to get hurt. I mean, you said that Dean would have been real young when he hurt his leg, but I mean, it's easy to get hurt snow skiing.
Yeah.
So I went up there and we had a great time. I mean, I absolutely enjoyed it. Still terrified because I couldn't stop. I never did perfect getting those skis in a way that you could stop. So I would come down off of that hill and there'd be people down there, and I'm just doing my best to try to keep from running over anybody and then just get sideways and stop. I could never slow myself down. It was either go in or stop,
Right.
And so I really had very little control, but I was trying. So then I had such a good time. A couple of days later, I told Lori, I said, I'm going to go ski. So I went by myself. And I got up there, and guys, it wasn't powder anymore. It was hard ice, and it beat the crap out of me, and I've never been back. I've been twice. Right. The first time was absolutely fantastic. The second time was I mean, if you fell, it hurt a little bit. It hurt a lot.
I bet. Yeah.
And it was so slick. Even with that powder snow, you had some surface to work with, When it was just ice, there is no surface. You're just, you would get over to the edge of a hill and you're gone. You can't stop it,
Yeah.
And,
a lot faster too, didn't you?
No, it's real fast.
Yeah.
I never went up to the real ski slopes. I did all the bunny stuff, but I love the idea of it. I love to wear the stuff, to drink hot chocolate and look out the window of the people skiing like you see in the movies. All of that was fun. But falling with that ice, it hurts so bad. I just haven't gone back.
Agony of defeat, for sure.
You did it all.
Yeah. And I wasn't going fast at all. I was doing little tiny stuff,
Yeah.
Well, where we all need to go is because, I went out there and filmed, but the snow, there was really not much snow out there at that point. But I went to Aspen, Colorado, where Elvis stayed out there, and I found all those locations. And I saw those slopes where, some of the stories happened at. And, man, they're high up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that people can do that. And there's another guy, we need to get him on the podcast. He goes skiing all the time. And guess what his name is? He's from the town. Let me set it up. He's from the town that I lived in, Kinston. He plays in a rock and roll band. He's the lead singer in a rock band, a hard rock band. And he goes skiing all the time, snow skiing all the time from Kinston. And he's my friend on Facebook. Guess what his name is?
Sebastian Bach.
No.
Billy Stallings.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
His name's Billy Stallings, just like me. Yep. Yep. Now he's much younger than me. I'd say he's probably in early 40s would be my guess.
Same spelling and everything.
Same spelling, same town, same everything.
Y'all kind of
saw Kinston and thought that's weird, and just friend requested him, and we've been friends. And he plays in a rock and roll band and sings. And but we need to. I think it's called. Is it Shane's Rebellion? Is the name of the band Shay's Rebellion? Something like that. Shay's Rebellion, I think is what it is. Cool. It's like a heavy metal band. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I think I need to ask him to come on the podcast one time. It'd be fun for Billy Stallings to interview Billy Stallings.
Yeah.
That's kind of surreal.
Yeah.
Do y'all look alike at all?
No, he's a real big dude. Yeah.
Like muscular big or like heavy?
Yeah, real big. Yeah. I'll find a picture of him. But it's funny that he's in that town. There's several Billy Stallings in that one little town. You know, we had a neighbor when we lived in the house with the pool on Crescent Drive on the corner. There was a circle that went around the neighborhood. So we lived in the circle, like the beginning of the circle. We lived here. You went around the circle. The house that was right there, that guy's name was Billy Stallings. So literally on two corners, one neighborhood.
In my whole life, I've never even known anybody with the last name of Stallings.
Really?
No, not that I can remember from Louisiana.
Yeah. Now, Gene Stallings was the coach of Alabama.
Yeah, see that. But I wouldn't have known that from Louisiana back in the day. I don't remember anybody. Now, the town of Stallings, remember I took a picture of the water tower and sent it to you.
Yeah, no, there's a tower called Stallings, or there was a little town called Stallings. People sent me
it's just north of Charlotte.
Pictures of the police car that has Stallings on the door. Yeah. In fact, I think I have a police car in fact, this is on his website. That's him.
Oh, yeah.
Snowboarding.
Wow. He looks like a Billy.
That's him right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool shot right there.
Yeah, that's a really cool shot.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, but I've missed the boat on the whole snow ski thing. Like I said, you get to that age where you don't heal as easily, and you can pull something that you feel for the rest of your life. So I don't do it.
That's Billy.
Oh, yeah. He kind of looks like you in the face a little bit.
You think?
Now, let me ask you something. Was your dad a traveling salesman by chance?
No.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah, that's him right there. With his band.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see the resemblance.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to get him on the podcast one day. I need to ask him. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Well, guys, we have gone. This may be the longest podcast of 2026, which there's only 6 of them. So it's not in real big competition, but this was fun. I hope we covered a lot of subjects, talked about a lot of this and a lot of that. And one thing we kept out of here was this: no bananas. And we also, with these new glasses, this went away.
Oh, man, look at that.
And
I love it.
To get that leather jacket too.
I love it.
Isn't that cool? We got to go to the Evel Knievel museum. Yeah, in Vegas.
Yeah,
that's really cool. You'll love it. Love it.
I got to go check that out.
Yeah,
well,
it's
thank
really
y'all
cool.
for coming and listening and watching ever how you get the WCWAM podcast. Tighten up every chance you get.
Don't double dribble.
Word to your mother and them and DC Comics.